Leadership guru John Maxwell teaches us that everything worthwhile in life requires dedication and time. He further tells us that the people who grow and achieve the most are the ones who harness the power of patience and persistence. Hello, friends, this is Stella, your host on the Family Enrichment Hub, your center for family learning and for growth. Thank you for keeping it with the Hub. Thank you for promoting the content that is shared on this platform. I truly appreciate you. And I also want, in a special way, to welcome our new members. Thank you for joining the family of like-minded people who are on a journey to change and transform their family destinies. It's that time of the year again when many of us, parents and guardians, are running up and down, making sure that our children go back to school with their tuition, with their fees, and all the requirements that will enable them to be comfortable in school. And on a special note, I want to thank and appreciate every parent who is putting in all the sacrifices, who is putting in every effort to ensure that their children are all comfortably in school. I want to share some reflections, some insights, some thoughts with us today as our children return to school. And the first one is that let's be persistent in prayer for our children. I strongly believe that the spiritual foundation that we set and build for our children is the basis upon which they will have a good grounding within their lives. It's the basis upon which their well-being will be built. And so I encourage all of us not to give up, not to surrender on the spiritual formation and growth of our children, and more so where they are in school. I always tell my friends that when we release our children to the school administrators, we are no longer 100% present. They are away from us, and we have very little control in those instances. The best we can do is to commit our children into the hands of the Lord where we are not, to commit them for God to lead them, to guide them, to bless and illuminate their footsteps, so that in every engagement they have in school, it will be meaningful and well led because they are committed to the hands of the Lord. Every child has been vested with seeds of success and potential within them. I personally believe that there is no human being who has no seed of excellence and power and success within them. Everybody has something of value that is great within them. And so as parents, it's our duty to nurture, to cultivate, to tend, to guide our children to be able to discover the power that is within them. I always tell my people in my house that they are world changers. However, for them to actually live up to that which I am speaking into their lives, I help my children appreciate that they have to go through the process. They have to go through school. They have to go through the rigors of the education process so that they can be able to meet themselves as the world changers that they are. So every parent, I encourage us, speak life, speak good, speak and bring out the potential that is within your child. I also want to encourage us as parents and guardians, help our children to understand the why. Why are children going to school? Help them understand why we have to go through all this pain, why we have to go through all the inconvenience, which sometimes is necessary in the journey of education. When children understand why they are going through this process, it will help them in the tough days. It will help them when school feels like climbing a mountain. It will help them in those tough days when school feels like their blood is being squeezed out of them. So it will give them a sense of focus, a sense of endurance, and a sense of purpose. They will remain in school because the why has been properly clarified to them. I also want to ask as parents on a final note of reflection, as far as is possible for us as guardians and caretakers of our children, kindly give your children sufficient pocket money and requirements as they return to school. This protects our children's dignity and builds their self confidence and esteem. It does not leave them vulnerable to predators who are all over every school environment. It does not leave them vulnerable to sexual abusers who are just waiting for the next opportunity to notice their financial needs and take advantage of that. It protects our children from people who will verbally insult and abuse them because of their financial challenges. And so I insist and request every parent and guardian, protect your child from abuse, which is inevitable in the school environments. Grant them sufficient pocket money and requirements. And I want to share a rather sad story which I recently had happened to a child in one of the top schools in our country, Uganda here. This boy went to school with very minimal requirements, very minimal grab, very minimal pocket money, which was given to him by his father, since the mom is a stay-home parent. Now, on one of the days during the term, this boy went and picked it from his friend's suitcase, knowing that this is his friend. So he felt it was okay to do so. The friend was offended and did not take it well. This friend went and reported him to the school administrators. The story ended so badly because the boy's mother was called to school. The boy was shamed. The boy was embarrassed. The boy was given very ugly, unacceptable names despite being a very brilliant child within the school. You do not want this kind of incidents to happen to your child because you've not given them sufficient pocket money and requirements for school. Allow me, friends, to conclude with this. Every good tree produces good fruit, just as every bad tree produces bad fruit. I pray that our children will become the good trees that are going to bring out good fruit that will be of benefit to themselves, to their families, and to the nation at large. Thank you, friends, for listening in. God bless you. Catch you in 2 weeks' time again. Bye.